Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Just getting set up here. About to make breakfast. So, as usual, I figured I would show what I'm making and how I'm making it. So, yeah, let me get my stuff while we wait for others to join. I hope you all are having a great start to your day. I'm having a great start to my day. I mean, my day just started, so just get some of my spices. Okay. I think I'm good. Let me just get this going. Alrighty. All right, so let's flip the camera here and let's get going. Let me just let me tighten this and okay, let's flip the camera. All right, so we're gonna be making, or I'm gonna be making a breakfast supreme crunch wrap. It's not like the traditional one from Taco Bell, obviously, but it's a good dupe. So the first thing I'm gonna do is make my eggs. So because this is just for myself, we'll do 2 eggs, and everything as far as like meat, eggs, the veggies in this recipe for me has been measured out because I do track calories, specifically tracking my protein intake. So this meal is about 594 calories, 41 grams of protein. My general aim is 130 grams of protein. So I try to ensure that each of my meals are at least 30 to 40 grams of protein because I eat 4 times a day. So 3 main meals and a snack. So here I'm just adding in a little bit of salt. I just added in, what is this? Onion powder, garlic, onion powder. I don't measure it. I just eyeball it. Just a little bit goes a long way. We'll go ahead and mix that together. It's not salty. I see your comment. It is not salty. It's a little bit of salt. Onion powder is not salty. So, and again, like there's other things that are going to go in it to your point, I obviously don't want to dump a whole bunch of salt in this. So the eggs are done. Now I have leftover ground beef here. This is from the weekend. But if you don't have any leftover, you would cook ground beef and then set a little bit aside. I have shredded Mexican cheese here. We're gonna use this as a sauce for the base of your crunch wrap. And that's about it. So now I do have a pan that is on the stove heating up. So I'm just waiting for that to be ready and then we'll make our eggs. We have, let me just shift all these to the side so that you guys can see everything. I'm also gonna be adding in some microgreens because I always need a vegetable in my food. So there's that. And then we have a big tortilla and a small one. And I'll show you guys how to put that together when the eggs are done. So I'm gonna move this over. Move this over to the stove. I don't know why this is like being done. There we go. Let me shift this just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. So I use a stainless steel pan, so I only have to wait at least 10 minutes to, well, okay, maybe that's a stretch. Let's say more like 5 to 7 minutes to ensure that it's ready for me to cook on. Otherwise, everything just starts sticking. But I've had this going for about 5 minutes, so this should be good to go. So then we'll just, let me just, okay, so I'm gonna, 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 let me just, okay, so Add the eggs, scramble the eggs. I'm sure that's pretty self-explanatory. And in the meantime, while this cooks, I'm gonna take the ground beef that I showed you guys earlier and just warm this up. I'll probably do, I don't know, 45, maybe like 30 seconds since it's not that much. I had one of you ask me in a comment, like, how do you multitask and record at the same time and not risk your food getting burnt? I mean, and my answer to that is, I don't know anybody that cooks one thing at a time. Otherwise your meal will take hours to cook if you're just focusing on one ingredient at a time. So I just try to be mindful, keep an eye on everything. Obviously, if I'm recording, I'm bringing the camera and recording as I naturally cook. So that just makes it easier versus having to just do things one at a time, which I just, again, don't think is feasible. All right, so meat is done. Eggs are done. This is actually like a really basic recipe, and that's why I love it so much. I do love the intricate recipes, but the basic ones also are great, especially in the morning when I just need to eat something. So I'm gonna transfer this to a bowl. And then I'm going to just kind of clean out the pan, get rid of all these things that are left on the pan. So I'm gonna use it to sear my breakfast crunch wrap. Okay. All right, so eggs are done. The beef is warmed up. We're gonna move you guys this way. And then let's get a plate. So I think really the real big thing here is how you form the hexagonal shape of this wrap. So let me prop you guys this way so you can see. Okay, so we're gonna take out a bigger tortilla. Put that on your plate. Take some of this. I've showed you guys this before. Put a little bit on the large tortilla. Goes a long way. Use a spoon and just slather that on. Do a little bit more. Okay, there we go. That's enough. Again, none of this is measured. I'm just eyeballing it. Okay. And then I'm gonna add our eggs. Hi, Taylor. Hello. Welcome, welcome, girl. All right. Add our eggs. Add our ground beef. Let me not dump the meat on there just because it has a little bit of water and I don't want this watery. So we'll just transfer it like that. Okay. Done with my hands. And then we have our cheese. Just add that. And then we add our microgreens. And this is more of a preference. I need a green in my food. Okay, so then we take a smaller tortilla. Just give me a second, I'm unwrapping it. We take a smaller tortilla and just press that down. And then the way to do this, so I am making, or I'm trying to attempt making a hexagon with this type of burrito or crunch wrap. So you fold it down, and then I just kind of do it from each angle, right? Fold this down, fold the other edge down, and just kind of do it like that. Because what I'm going to do now is put it on the pan to sear it off. So I'm just going to see if I can. So this is what it looks like. So this is how you fold it. And then I'm going to pan sear it from the bottom here so that it seals off. So let's put this down because I, I don't want it to unravel. Got to be really careful here because what I'm going to do now is the pan that I was using, I'm going to just oil that, put just a little bit of oil. The pan has been on low heat, so it shouldn't take long to heat this. Let me bring you guys over. Oop. Okay. And we'll just wait for the pan to heat up a little bit before putting the crunch wrap down. And then, of course, once you put it on the pan and let that heat up for, let's say even like 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. I like mine a little bit browned. And of course, to ensure that it's sealed off because I don't want it opening up before you flip it over to brown on the other side. And then that's how you make this. So I'm gonna, I guess I could use this spatula. Let me just clean up here a little bit while that warms up. But again, this is not, I'm not reinventing the wheel here. This is just, again, another breakfast option. If you ever want just something interesting to have for breakfast, and it doesn't take long. I mean, the video has been going on for what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, almost 15 minutes. So it's, I mean, obviously if you're in a time crunch, this is not something that you would make. At least for me, I would not make this, but if you have a little bit of time, you want something that is filling. I have a leg day in the gym later today, so I just wanted something that is a little bit filling. But anyway, so this should be done. This should be done heating up. So like I said, I'm gonna put this on the pan. And I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but I use a spatula and just like seal that off. And like I said, I'm just trying to ensure that the bottom is sealed off. Sometimes you can see from the corners that it might start unraveling a bit. So sometimes I just literally take my finger, just try and tuck that in. So everything seals off nicely. And then I just I leave it for a few minutes just to seal off. And then from there, after a few minutes, I'll flip it over, do the other side. I usually keep the heat on like a medium heat. You don't want to burn the tortilla, so definitely not high heat, but then you also don't want this so low that it's not properly sealing off the bottom, so that now when you go to flip it over, everything opens up. So medium heat is ideal here. So I'll just take a spatula, just continue to press that down. This is like my go-to breakfast over the weekend. Because again, like I have a little bit more time, I can actually take my time and make this for both myself and my partner. I actually made it this weekend. I made it on Saturday, and then Sunday I made us something else. So you just continue pressing. Again, I have had a situation where the bottom the bottom was not sealed off properly, and so for me anyway, I'm just a little bit more cautious about just really, really ensuring that that bottom is good to go before I flip this over. And then when it's flipped over, I mean, it doesn't take long. The bottom will brown and then you're done. And then we'll do a little bit of an ASMR thing, you know, scrape the burrito, cut the burrito. But yeah, this is a really delicious way of having eggs, beef, and cheese, I guess, and vegetable. All right. So again, we'll leave that for a few minutes. Because this is breakfast for me, I don't know if it's worth showing you guys how I make my protein coffee to have with this. Anyway, we'll get there when this is done. Let's just make sure that this cooks properly. 2 eggs, onion powdery, salty, 2 bumbleclot eggs. You're making an omelet. Well, obviously you didn't stay long enough to see that it's not an omelet, but thanks anyway. All right, so now I think this is good to flip. So carefully just flip on the other side. And so you can see that this has been properly sealed. And that's what you want it to look like because you don't want it opening up. So now we'll just let the other side kind of brown for a few minutes, but this is what your crunch wrap should look like. So, and it does have a really nice crunch to it. So while that finished browning on the other side, I'm just gonna put all of these things away in the background, so that's why you can't see me. And that's it. So again, if you have any questions, I leave the lives live or public so that you can always go back and watch if you want to watch, or you know, have that step-by-step of how to make this. So if there's comments, like I'll see it and I can respond. If you have questions, anything, like please let me know. I just started recently doing lives because I figured that it would be a really nice way to cook in real time with you guys. And also, again, right, like I think it's important for me to personalize this account. It's a cooking account, yes, but there's a person who is cooking the food that you're watching. So I just, you know, just want to be able to connect with you guys and answer questions or just interact with you all. Okay, so just finished putting everything away. Let's turn off the heat because this is definitely done. I don't want this to burn. And then we're going to transfer it to a plate and have a little bit of an ASMR moment. So let's move you guys over here. Okay. Oop. Okay. I don't know why this tripod is so weird, but okay, here we go. Let's transfer the crunch wrap to the plate. I'm just actually, hold up. I prefer it down this way. All right. Now we'll have, again, does live allow you to zoom in? Oh my God, it allows you to zoom in. Okay, so you can hear that it's solid. This thing did not break apart. We'll cut that through. Okay. And then that is your crunch wrap. It's ground beef, eggs, some greens, and cheese. So like I said, I will keep this live public so that you can always come back and reference it if you want to make this. Comment if you have any questions. But that's how you make your breakfast crunch wrap. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you at the next live. Goodbye.